So this is an attempt of explaining the story of this character Max, and it's just an attempt. It's just a story, and it doesn't mean jack shit. All right, so it won't. Again, it won't bring you anything. It won't do anything. But when I was a child, I was. You see, I don't even know if that's just so-called start. There's just no starting point. But when I was a child, I was raped. I was 7 or 8 years old, something like that, and that left me, I guess, seeking for something else. Because when that happened, it's like I was. It's I can't describe it, but it's like I was not in the body. Everything was felt and was horrible, but at the same time, yeah, there was that complete loss of control, I guess, a feeling of control, because there was no control anyway. But it was just what was happening, as horrible as it was. And it's like I was out of the body, but that's really wrongly said. It's poorly described but yeah, I guess you could say that. Got flashes now coming back, and it's I'm trying to describe it, and it's not. Anyway, so I don't know. I remember after that, there's something was not quite right, and now I'm not saying that this is what started a so-called search, right? Because it's not like that at all. It's just a story. It didn't actually happen. That's the amazing thing. Amazing, ordinary, normal. Of course, it didn't happen. There's a memory, but there's no stickiness to that. You see, it doesn't define anything. It's impossible. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't give trauma. It doesn't. But then I guess later on, you see, I learned about trauma and stuff, and that makes sense. That's what happened to me. I've got this massive trauma. You see, I mean, I've been raped. I mean, for me, horrible trauma. And so this embodied sense of me being wrong, I guess, was always there, I guess, but always, as far as I can remember, but became apparently stronger after that. So, okay, I'm a child. I had many friends. Well, yeah, was quite a popular kid, you could say, in that way, having friends. And also, in all appearances, my life, such a, wow, doesn't exist, my life. But life was good, but I didn't feel adequate. I remember wanting to die as a child, actually. Not out of, like, it's unbearable or something like that. That came later, the unbearable moments. But why live? Like, why live? I also remember a bit after, I don't know how old I was, but still a young kid, probably around 10, maybe less than that, coming back home from a walk with my mom, and we were just standing in front of the entrance door, and at some point it's just like there was no one. There was just no one. But then what was perceived was a kind of a black void, nothing, scary. But at the same time, not just scary, it was also just like, hey, wow. Like, wow. What? There's nothing. There's nothing, something like that. But that's what it was, there was. But anyways, it was, things like that seemed to happen. But again, it's just a story, okay, really. I honestly don't have a clue why I'm saying it. I just felt like it, I guess. And see, you can't feel like anything. It's just words. Blah, blah. So, okay, after, then I became a teenager, and I went into, I wanted to be loved, to be loved. It was really hard. I remember going to high school, because I wasn't that popular anymore. People made fun of me and stuff like that. And it was experienced very, very badly here. Now I played basketball, which was one of the pillars, you could say, of its character's life, apparent life. And I looked for love into relationships, whether friendship. I had a lot of friends. I was not popular, but I also had a lot of friends. It's funny because it was both actually. But especially in romantic love, you see. And I had first heartbreaks, 13, 14 years old, you know. Because love is the thing to find, you see. So that's how it was experienced here. And it stayed for long, decades. Decades. Yeah, 15, 20 years, something like that. On and off, obviously. But anyway, so then I had to, I'm making it a long story, you know, but I had to stop basketball when I was 15 years old because I kept twisting my ankle and dislocated my shoulder, and which still happens anyway now. But anyway, which was hard for me. And at the same time, there's my girlfriend at the time, whom I was really in love with, just ended things with me. Back then, it was a 6 months relationship. When you're 15 years old, it was, you know, for me, it was like, wow, you know. So the world collapsed. My world collapsed. So okay, long story short, it's beautiful around here, isn't it? Look. Isn't that beautiful? You're not me. People keep commenting about my hair. That's so funny. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, it's a funny thing. Anyway, so I'm lost in the story now. I'm lost in the story. See? It's probably how you feel. I don't know. It's an assumption here. When you look, you know, when you're seeking, you're lost in the story. Actually, it's a very good description, I guess. You're lost in the story, you see. Not realizing that this me thing is the story. And there's nothing to realize. It's not what I'm saying. I'm not implying for you to realize that. I'm just saying, really. Describing, maybe. So, okay. Ooh, lots of birds there. So, okay. Well then, so I went into different psychotherapies. Many. I can't even remember all the names, but there were so many, like EMDR, hypnosis, different hypnotherapists anyway. Classic, shrink, you know. Had medication like Prozac and stuff, you know, and anxiety stuff. Anyway, just so many things. And yeah, now I don't know. I'm 20 years old. I was at university, but I started to work as well, and working was a horrible feeling. You know, it was a bit later actually. But anyway, it was just something I didn't want to do, you know. So there was this, I kept looking and looking for this something there must be, there's more to life. Like there must be more to life. It can't be just that. And you see, that's the story that basically you keep repeating yourself. Not that you have a choice, not that you are doing it, okay? That's the story, really, that's what I'm saying. I guess. To make it, you know, concise and short, that's it. So flash forward a good few years later when I quit my job, and I went into the CaminoSantiago, right, and had an amazing experience. But then at that time it was all around like the new age spirituality, so angels, everything means anything, everything means everything, you know, that kind of crap. Energy, like I could play with energy and stuff like that. Not that it can't be done. It's an illusion. It's the mind. It's whatever. You know. It's doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying, really. So freaking amazing and ordinary. It's just talking. So I guess you see what I want to do here, telling the story, is nothing but telling the story. You could say it. Yeah. You could say it. I want to be not liked, not really, but I don't know, I like to share it, you see. So it's not like, you see, even things like wanting to be liked and stuff doesn't necessarily fall away. It just doesn't matter anymore. It just has no reality. It's not something that runs on your mind. It's not something, there's no analysis of what's happening, you see. Yeah, I guess it's a good way to describe it, which is still just only a description, because analysis is fine. This is it too, you see. So-called self-analysis. It's so true. It's still so that, you see. So really, what's in it for you? Nothing. But okay, let's go on with the story. So, walk the Camino. I met lovely, lovely people. I had an amazing time for 2.5 months walking. Was it 1,500 kilometers, even more actually. That's where I met my lovely wife. Say hi if you're watching, which you don't. She doesn't watch my videos anymore. She doesn't give a fuck. But yeah. So anyway. So yeah, everything meant everything. See. And I meant also, on the Camino, I met this magnetist guy who was like, who were talking to us, and like, oh yeah, that's it, this is the end of your journey, meeting me. And it was very interesting. There was a lovely, lovely guy. He meant well, you know, but and I bought into it. I completely bought into it. I got it. It's funny because it's so hard to remember in a way. It's not hard, but it's, I don't know, it's not clear. So anyway, yeah, and this guy just told us, wow, you're gonna grow much in this life and this and that, and find enlightenment as such thing. And wow, interesting, I find enlightenment, you know. And those ideas started to blossom. I don't know if this is the right word, but blossom. Like, yeah, this idea of enlightenment, that's a good thing. That's what I want. Oh, that's what I want. Wait, I'm gonna up a bit more comfy like that. Oh, that's what I want. This enlightenment thing. You see, it's that's a state to reach. And so then, where I looked into, well, already before, but I looked into Buddhism, and oh yeah, because I looked into philosophies way before as well. Religions as well, as a teenager, young teenager. I'm raised Catholic, and I believe in that. I used to believe in that. Anyway, makes no sense, does it? So after the Camino, traveled to Thailand, Nepal, India, and the classic spiritual seeker that goes to Southeast Asia. I mean, seriously, how more classic can you find? And spent some time with the spiritual master, enlightened master, so-called. I think that's such bullshit. So funny. And she, back then I thought I found something. That was it. You could say there was an apparent awakening. But, like, in the sense that the whole spiritual search, the spiritual side to it, the extraordinary, wow, that the extraordinary, crazy, it all means everything, it's all, wow, it's all that dropped. So you could say it was an awakening, which is just a description, because there's no such thing as awakening, okay? If you think that it exists, well, that's what you think. And so, okay. Where was I? Yeah. Came back. And you could say things apparently started to drop away. But you see, which was just a complete experience. You see the story side of that, the complete story, that the bullshit of that, things start to fall away. What do you mean falls away? But it was belief then, you see. It was experience. And so this character's life became better and better. That you could say, yeah, better. Traumas were kind of gone, if not completely gone. And there never was any trauma, okay, but that, yeah, I guess like, that kind of was realized then. Yeah. So anyway, and this so-called awakening, so lost in what I'm saying, like literally I have no idea. See, as a child, I daydreamed a lot. Like it was always about daydreaming. And I felt so wrong for it. Because you have to focus, you have to be, you have to be smart, you have to be a certain way. That was massive in my search. Like this crazy, you have to be the good person, you have to be the good son, you have to be the good, it's hard to describe, but you have to be the good, This idea of what good is. And part of that was smart, and daydreaming was not smart, in my understanding. Such bullshit. I daydream so much, still, it's amazing. But back then there was someone daydreaming, you see, as a child and later. No, it's only daydream, you could say. It's only daydream, which is not an actual dream, it's what's happening. So, back home later, and like things start to fall away, as I said, kind of, whatever that means. And then when I was on E one night, because something, I'm not saying E triggered it, but it's not what I'm saying at all, by the way. There's no way of knowing that. It's crazy. But that's what happened in the story. A few days before taking that E, there was this thought. Keep coming, it's just a thought. But that too. And all I could see, it was still for someone, right? Okay, but all I could see was interesting. It's just a thought. The wall, this cloud is just a thought. The sound is just a thought. It's all thought-based, mind-based, you could say, right? But the word that came is thought. Because thought, you see, had a level of reality to me, and it was realized that it had no reality. And then it's just having that E with my wife. It was, at some point I said, like, Amy, it's all just a thought. And she goes, yeah. No, but it is all just a thought. And she goes like, yeah. It was just so clear. And there was no one, nothing, no question. That was it. Except someone came back. There's no me, there's no someone that comes back. Okay, it's just a story, but that's how it was experienced, I guess. I mean, it's not how it was experienced, because I didn't realize someone came back. Not really, but I don't know. For me, that was it. You see, that was it. And so I thought, well, I can teach this. That's what my mind does. I'm brilliant at it. I can teach this. I'll succeed where everyone fails. So arrogant. And so I started this course, which had tremendous results in a way. It's funny, but it was still someone showing something to someone else, you see. So there was that kind of energy, you could say. It's only a bit after that I really came across this, I don't want to say non duality, but the radical, uncompromising message. And then it was like, wait a second, there's something must be missing here. So, like you, maybe I felt, I don't like it, but I gotta watch. I don't like it, but I gotta watch. But I don't even care if I don't like it anymore. I gotta watch. Not like I was a junkie on that. I guess sometimes, but not really. But what was clear is that this can't be taught. So I dropped the so-called teaching. And it's kind of funny in the story, because when I started this teaching, it was really just something I wrote, which is a wonderful way of showing this, actually. It really is. But the thing is, you see, I thought it could be shown, it can't. And so the energy that goes with it is that of a teaching and a student, even if I wouldn't consider myself like that, because for me the whole guru thing and all was all complete bullshit. So teacher, guru, same, so I didn't consider myself like that. But it's only after that I realized, oh God, it's nothing to realize. But that's a bit how it was, if that somehow makes sense. So anyway, so yeah, I had written those pages and pages and pages, which was the course basically, and just very fast as I started doing that with people, I just didn't use the course anymore. Just boom, because just whatever, because it made no sense. And then yeah, so radical non-duality, and really I gotta say thank you to all those guys, because Emerson, Jim Newman, Tony Parsons, Kenneth Madden, and I'm missing many here, many. But yeah, and so I don't even know what to say. It's just it kind of was realized, apparently, that there is no realization, that this is it. So but the interesting thing is interesting. It's not interesting at all, but it's you see it's oh, I don't know, maybe you think it is, I don't know. Again, I'm just talking. But what's happened is there was this how can I say, things seem to fall away step by step, I guess. And there was this apparent being thing on and off, you know. And I guess in a way, I don't know if that's, I have no idea if that's actually how it happened. It's just, it's funny because I'm telling this story, but at the same time, it like it's so clear, it hasn't happened. It's nothing. I can't remember properly. I can't. But so yeah, there was this dropping away step by step, slowly dropping away. Not slowly, I don't know, not slowly, just dropping away. I'm getting tired. I'm tired of this. Aren't you tired of that story? Because or your so-called story? Because that's what it is, you see. Me story. Why even bother saying it, thinking it? And not that you have a choice in what I'm saying, but anyway, so yeah, the whole, I guess you could say this someone fell away, but it's wrongly said. Nothing fell away. It just was, that's it. At some point, that's it. And there's nothing that actually happens. I could tell you many stories of what apparently happens, step by step, so-called, but it was no. I guess the best way to say it is there was someone and then there was no one. There was someone and there was no one. Or there was a realness to this someone. So it's not to say that now there's no one, because it's not like that. There really is no one. It's just a realness to me that's gone. And that's what it is. The realness to everything is just gone. And so, what I meant to say, I guess, is even though I said I wasn't a teacher, there was this energy, and it's not an energy of something, it's not a real energy, it's not, it's just a discussion once again, but there was this energy of knowing, you could say. And that's what's left. That's what just never existed. Never was. And so it was hard, I don't know, I guess, to realize that, well, I can't teach this. Like I felt like I had to let go of my baby, you see? Which of course is just bullshit, that's just in the story, you see? Because nothing needs to be let go of. This is it. The teaching is this. The teaching is what's happening. This is not a teaching, is what I'm saying. This is just a pure description, but the teaching is what's happening. The unteaching, the whatever, it's all just blah, blah, blah. Of course, no one needs anything. There's no waking up. There's no something that's missing. And that's the apparent realization, but saying it's a realization make it sound like something happened, but there was no realization. This is it. This is what it's saying. And so it's really hard to say how it is now, because really nothing's changed. But at the same time, everything's apparently changed, which is just, yeah, the veil's lifted, I guess you can say that, but there is no fucking veil, all right? There's no, I really struggle, I would struggle to describe how it is now. It's just a description. This is how it is now. Just whatever. There's no how it is now, you see? There's no now. So you'd like to know how it is now. But nothing. This is nothing being everything. This is real unreal. These are just descriptions, words that mean nothing. There's no how it is now, how it was before. That story never happens. There's no one that wakes up. There's no one that woke up. There's no one that left, even. You see, there's no understanding of the words. This is it. That's how it is already. There's no misunderstanding of the words. There can be, it doesn't matter. It's just, this is not understandable. This is how it is. How is it now? I don't know. I shit. I have sex. I daydream a lot and I fucking love it. But it's not a me that does it. It's just what's happening. I have coffee in the morning, right? I talk to people. I do one-to-ones. I do, but just not as a teaching. Just talking. It's just. Theo says hanging out. Theo, if you're watching, I don't think you are. But well, you know who Theo is, right? He's awesome. I really like his stuff. Yeah, he says hanging out. That's it. This so-called one-to-ones or this talk is hanging out. You see, we're hanging out. Except there's no one that's hanging out, you see. This is just what's happening. There's no one watching the video. There's no one here. Look. Where? How? So there's no how. It's like I could tell you how I live my life, but there's no point. And I can tell you how I live my life. It's just lifing. You see? There's nothing special. There's nothing on offer. There's still sadness. There's still frustration, maybe not. But it can happen. I don't know. Just saying, I don't know how it is now. I have no clue. I have no clue anymore. I never had a clue. You don't have a clue. Nobody does. And that's fucking wonderful. This sense of knowing is gone. It never was there, but this need for anything is just gone. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just nothing sticks. Nothing is anything. Yeah, nothing is anything. So, yeah, there's just no... Look at that. This. And I don't mean it's all rainbows and butterflies. But it just doesn't matter what it is. Rainbows, butterflies, storm, no storm, sun, no sun. It just doesn't matter. Nothing does. But not in a sense, not caring. There's caring for people. There's loving in that way. There's helping around. There's also just I don't want to help around. There's anything. But the psychological bullshit of needing to be something else is just gone. It never was there. It's just, you can't describe what's happening. You see? You can't get it. There's nothing to get. So there's no one trying to convince anyone of anything, you see? That's what's left, I guess, as well. There's just everything. Simultaneously. No questions. The film continues, you see? It's not a moment in the film when there's something that changed. This hero moment when he gets enlightened, or where he just drops everything, where he drops the idea of enlightenment. Nothing drops. There's just no enlightenment, no nothing, or it's all enlightenment. I don't know. How is it now? I don't know. Wow. It's just talking for no reason. Isn't that freaking wonderful? Just what's happening. I guess I smile a lot, but I always have smiled, but I guess it's different. But it doesn't mean jack shit. I cry too. Tears of sorrow can happen, you know? I don't know, I don't know. You never know how it is. How wonderful. There's nothing to know. This is it. That's just a story for no reason. And everything is just a story. It's not real. It's not unreal. It's just description for nothing. Wow. Anything that happens is what's happening. That's all. This message is just saying, I don't know. There's no clear pointer, because there's no pointer to anything. How could you point to everything? How could you reach everything? How could you reach anything? There's no one. There's nothing reached. It's just description, but there's nothing reached, but I can, grab my head, right? But it's not me that does it. Just no control. Nothing. This does it automatically. But even the idea of control, no control, it's just whatever. It's just whatever. So the really can still be anything, because it never was different. Never.